putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
And good morning, Lincoln. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. And with me, as always, I'm Travis Filing. With me, as always, Gary Tharnish. How you doing today, Gary?
I am doing great. It's a beautiful day out.
Oh, my
so
gosh,
get
it's
outside.
gorgeous.
If you're listening to the podcast 4 months from now, you missed it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
and I would hope it's going to be beautiful then. But
yeah, we'll see. It might be 108.
Finally getting some of this bad weather behind us.
Hopefully.
But, it's going to be raining and hailing and all that crap. And it's just that time of year. So I thought, well, we should probably get some roofing guys in here to talk a little bit about this spring weather that we're all going to, hopefully, I know you guys are going to see it differently, but hopefully not be dealing with this year. So had Red Rhino Roofing brought these guys in just to talk roofing and what to watch for and what to look for and what to start planning on and when's it time to fix a roof and work on a roof and when problems are coming. So I have Steve Garza. And Steve, I've known Steve for 25 years.
About 25 years.
Steve Garza, he's been on every single roof and worked on every roof and every property that I own. So
yes, quite a few of them.
Thanks for coming in and talking with us. And Ben, I am not even going to attempt to pronounce your last name. So
it's Gutenkunst.
Gutenkunst.
Yeah. Well, easy once you hear it.
Once you hear it and see it, how it's spelled, I mean, it's pretty easy after that.
And you guys are with Red Rhino Roofing and Solar.
Yep.
And how long have you guys been with the company?
I've been with the company just about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yep.
And I've only been with them a short time, but I've been in roofing pretty much all my life since about 1985.
Okay. So what got you into roofing? Just
my dad said either you're going to go to school or get a job.
Oh.
The next day, my cousin come by and picked me up. We got on the road.
There you go. I love it. So when was Red Rhino established? Is it based in Omaha?
Yep. So my uncle founded Red Rhino in 2017.
Okay.
So we've been around locally for a little while now, and we just recently got to expand into Lincoln just because we had the opportunity to meet Steve, and Steve got to bring a lot of knowledge to the table, and it was just a great opportunity to get into the market. So
nice. So Ben, you are mostly in Omaha?
Yep, mostly in Omaha.
And then you're doing Lincoln, correct?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
And then you guys are also in Des Moines, right?
Yep. So we do what we can in Des Moines. We haven't had a hire up there yet, so most of the time it's me traveling back and forth, taking care of that market. But 2 years ago we spent the whole summer in Carroll, Iowa, which kind of got us into that Des Moines market there in Iowa.
Was there a big storm up there? Or?
Yeah. So actually my family's from Coon Rapids, Iowa, which is just down the road from Carroll, and we got to use that local name, to our advantage. And there was a huge storm that took out just about the entire town.
Oh. And
then we re-roofed about the entire town. So.
Oh man, how many employees do you guys have?
So we have 16 currently.
Okay.
Yep, 16.
And is it typical when a big storm rolls through an area, you just everybody kind of moves into the area and just it's supply and demand, so to speak? There's just a massive need?
Yeah. So there's homeowners definitely need to look out for storm chasers is what we call them. Guys from out of town that don't have the correct permitting, the licensing, and that's kind of the upfront battle is we're walking down the street, knocking on doors, and we're passing companies we've never seen before, and then we hear 2 months down the road that they're already out of town just because it's such a local market. People care about being local known.
Or they're out of business. I mean, as a real estate agent, I run into people. Roofs have become huge now with insurance. I mean, it's a great big deal. We've actually had people that get insurance on their home 2 months later. Insurance company A finally sends an adjuster out to look at the roof and goes, "Oh, we're not going to insure your roof," or just drop the policy. The other thing, when we are asking people, "Hey, who did your roof? When did they do it? What's the company?" You'll start doing some research, and it's like, yeah, well, they went bankrupt 3 months after that. They replaced a whole bunch of roofs after a storm, and they're not found now. So the importance of knowing longevity and that you're going to be there is really important.
Exactly.
Well, and I mean, how many times has a storm rolled through town and somebody's knocking on your door and they have Mississippi license plates or Ohio license plates or something like that, and it's like, okay, there's always going to be an error somewhere. And who's going to fix this in a month when a rainstorm hits and, wait a minute, there's a spot on the ceiling or who knows? Who's going to fix that?
Correct.
You coming up from Mississippi to fix this? I don't think so.
Exactly. And they don't care because they're not from around here. They're not expecting to get any repeat customers. So it's really important, even if you don't go with us, you go with somebody local. You don't want to get somebody's out of town. And they do get local phone numbers and license plates a lot of time too. So you really want to do your homework.
Oh yeah, because how many cold calls do you get a day on your cell phone from some local phone number? And it's not it's nobody local. It's somebody from overseas or whatever else.
They're local, but with a different definition.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're nuts. I always tell my clients when you're thinking about roofing or redoing your roof, whatever, ask some forward questions of the person coming in. How long have you lived in Lincoln? Are you from Lincoln? Do you live here? Did you just move here? Research the company a little bit. So easy to do online right now. Just Google it and find out. That stuff's important.
Yeah. So now, when it comes to roofs, we had an insurance guy in here a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about just roofing in general. And one thing that, because Steve has done, I think you've done all my roofs, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And so, we've done a lot of 35-year shingles. We've always kind of upgraded, which was really good. Or the insurance guy said it was really good at the time. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of upping premiums because it's more expensive to replace. And so what are most people doing when it comes to roofing? Is there a hot product out there right now? Is there something that people are that you guys are recommended? Is it steel? Is it a 30-year shingle? Is it a lower cost or is it a higher cost? Is there something?
Yeah, so there's most what we sell is Class 3 and Class 4 shingles.
Okay.
Those are the two main classes. So the Class 3 is normally what insurance pays for. Normally it is an upcharge to do a Class 4 shingle, but when you look at the premium discount that most insurance companies do offer for that upgraded Class 4 shingle, it normally pays itself off within just a few years of getting it installed just from that updated cost.
Okay. And you have the peace of mind that your roof's not going to be held out, at least as easily with the Class 4 shingle. It takes quite a bit to bust a shingle as Class 4.
Yeah.
So,
as an example, we last year we had minimum of 5 hailstorms that came through Omaha, and most of the Class 4 roofs that I got on, they didn't have damage nearly enough to recommend a claim, but they honestly held up to what they're made for.
Because that's the big thing right now is you're almost trying not to have a claim. Because as soon as you get a claim, your premiums are going to get jacked.
Yep.
So you're looking for a product that is going to keep you from obviously having problems and keep you from having claims.
Exactly.
And they're not that much more expensive.
No.
I mean, at least in my instance, it hasn't been that much more.
Correct.
Because you're only talking, and I don't recall what the difference in cost was, but it was minimal, very minimal.
Yeah,
it's
comparatively
definitely
speaking.
worth it.
And it's well worth it. I mean, the cost, insurance companies, I sat with a couple Thursday night, after doing a walkthrough on their house, and they're showing me their insurance policies that they're checking on, getting insurance for their new house. And two of the insurance companies, depreciation on the roof, right? So if it's 7 years old, you're going to get less, just kind of like a car, when you drive your car off the lot,
Right.
That type of thing. So we're starting to see that. The fourth one was not that way at all, but they're like, oh yeah, but this one's more expensive. I go, yeah, and replacing the roof on this house, it's a big house, it's going to be $35,000 minimum. So figure that out with your math, what you want to go. But we're really starting to see that on the insurance end, where they're depreciating it. Is it Class 3, Class 4? People don't know the difference. Yeah, kudos to you guys if you're explaining that to the people, because it pays off in the long run.
It does. It does.
And that's one of the benefits with us is we don't hire just sales guys. We hire sales guys and train them to be project managers. Mm. So that's training them on the insurance process, because we don't go into a homeowner's house looking to sell them a roof. We go into a homeowner's house looking to inform them about the entire situation, whether that's looking at their insurance policy, walking them through what policy they do have, how to file a claim. That's really, at the end of the day, our main goal is to inform people so that they have the information to make a decision. Yeah.
Yeah. And the upgrades they have nowadays, like with stone-coated steel roofs, you can get 50-year warranties on them, softball-size hail warranties. So and those are a big upgrade, but those will really pay for itself. You don't have to worry about it for 50 years, So
And they look like regular shingles too.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think these metal roofs, like, what does it sound like when it's raining when you're inside there? Is it constant ping? That wouldn't be really fun. Well, I'm a drummer, so I'd love the percussion part of it, but nobody else in the house would, I don't think.
That's what insulation's for.
Yeah, which hopefully you have plenty of.
Yeah, they're pretty quiet unless you're in the pole barn,
Are they? That's good to know. Yeah, I just always kind of wondered, so.
And as technology changes, I'm seeing too. There's a lot of plastic products out there now.
Yes.
And is that I had heard something about self-healing products? Where if you get a ding, I don't know if that's true. Because you see a lot of crap out there, and you go, really? Is that true? Is there something that's self-healing? You're seeing spray coatings.
Where was that on the internet where were you on the internet when that popped up?
We don't want to talk about those.
Yeah. That sounds very interesting, but is that real?
There's a handful of things that are on the internet. That's not something we'll ever tell a customer is, hey, this shingle's going to heal itself and you never have to worry about it. It's we haven't come across.
Yeah, that's something I haven't heard about. But the synthetic compound shingles, matter of fact, that's the next roof I'm putting on my house. I know you've probably been by my house and seen that pile of shingles I got out there.
Right.
Yeah, so next time I got to re-roof, it's going to be with the synthetic slate. And I won't have to worry about it the rest of my life.
And I did see some video though of it was like a clear spray, and it was you spray on. Doesn't matter what condition your roof is in. They come out, they put some clear spray, and they guarantee it for another 7 years. And I thought, really, is that?
Yeah, we have not
shady.
We have not done any of those, and we just don't have that in our realm.
Some kind of coatings work good for metal roofs and stuff like that, to recoat or to coat over a metal roof. But as far as asphalt and things like that, I'm not a big fan of it personally. But
yeah, they were spraying it on everything.
Yeah,
that's what kind of bumped me.
Yeah, it's going to heat up the asphalt, and it's naturally releasing the chemicals and stuff. As it ages, rubber does the same thing. So I would imagine it's going to have some effect on the spray.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got a break coming up here, so when we come back, I have some more insurance questions. Just trying to plan for insurance and whatnot. So you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we're talking with Steve and Ben at Red Rhino. We will be right back.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're back on the 402 Business Insider. And we're talking with Steve and Ben with Red Rhino Roofing. So my buddy Mark just texted in. I did get your text, Mark. So he had Class 4 shingles on his roof, and he said hailstorm rolled through, demolished the entire neighborhood, but he only had about 20 dings on his house. And if I'm understanding correctly, the amount of damage that was on his roof, he only had 20 or 30 shingles that had to be replaced. But if I'm understanding correctly, he said the cost was almost the same as what it would cost to replace the entire roof and gutters. So is that sound about right? Is it really expensive to just replace shingles?
Well, I think he was talking about his deductible for.
That could have been it.
Yeah, it'd be the same price to replace your whole roof as it would be to replace the gutters and 20 shingles or so. But you're also not putting pressure on your insurance company, with a claim. I'm sure they'd rather pay that claim than a whole roof claim.
Yeah, that's true. See, and one thing, like now, my insurance is getting ready to reset. So, and if your insurance hasn't reset yet, folks, fasten your seatbelts because it's all changed. Yeah, buddy. Because now roofing is, for my policy, and I imagine everyone else's, roofing is going to be a percentage of the value of the house. So, like mine is, I think it's 2.5%.
A lot of insurance companies are going to that.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
1,000 or 15 or 2,000.
So, is there something you can do as a homeowner to kind of go, okay, well, is there a heavy-duty type roofing material that I can put up there and go, you know what, make it 5%, just so I can not ever have to worry about having to replace a roof.
Yep.
And maybe it is that 50-year shingle.
Yeah, stone-coated steel or a synthetic, even a metal, as long as you get a good heavy gauge metal, 24 gauge, something like that. You go down to 29 or 26 gauge, it's going to get dinged up in a hailstorm. Big enough size hail, metal roof, other than like a stone-coated steel, you're going to see it.
Okay.
But yeah, the stone-coated steel, if you're not wanting to mess with it, or synthetic is the way to go.
And what does that do to the cost?
Oh,
it raises it significantly.
Yeah.
So, and that's when we recommend the Class 4, just the normal synthetic shingles, because they do genuinely hold up to 2.5 inch hail, which is not common to get in the hailstorms that we've gotten in years prior.
So for people listening, the difference between a Class 3 and a Class 4 shingle is just it's thicker, it's better product, there's more medium on it. What's the difference?
So a bit thicker. So they're essentially hail tested. So a Class 3 shingle gets its rating from a 1.5 inch metal ball or a 1.25 inch metal ball dropped from, I believe it's 20 feet in the air, and it doesn't damage the bottom of the shingle.
Okay.
Class 4 is a 2-inch metal ball drop from 20 feet, and that's how you get a Class 4 rating.
Different. So the size of the hail makes it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've always wondered that.
No,
and
absolutely.
a lot of times you don't even know you have hail damage unless you have somebody inspect your roof. And what happens when you get hail damage is it busts the shingle and it starts to release the granules. So that allows the sun to beat down and just make the shingle age faster. Takes all the chemicals and oils out of the shingle. And so it's important. You have up to 2 years on most insurance companies to file a claim for hail. So if you've had a hailstorm within the last couple of years, it would be beneficial to you to call your insurance or call a roofer, have somebody come out and take a look at it, and then call your insurance company if they say you have a claim.
Yeah, be proactive on maintenance and look at what's going on. I mean, if you see, a ton of granules coming out of your downspout, you might have a problem if there's bad storm 2 weeks earlier. Yep. And the time limit's huge because I'll be selling a house and they'll get up on the roof to do the inspection and they're like, this house had hail damage probably 8 years ago, so they've missed their claim time.
Right.
It's worth getting it checked out.
Yeah. And with the technology they have nowadays, you can go online and track those storms to find out exactly when. Insurance companies know exactly when, your house, this area has had hail.
But is there something the average homeowner, because the average homeowner doesn't want to climb up on their roof. God knows I don't, right? So is there something that they can look for? Is it the granulars in the downspout? Is it, black dots up on the roof? What is it that they should be looking for?
So from a homeowner's perspective, from the ground, you're looking at your gutters and your soft metals. So like your window wraps, you're looking for just dings in your gutters. You're looking for little tiny welts in the gutters, and then the granules, falling off the roof into the gutters, down the downspout. But again, that's why we offer free inspections, because if you don't know, you call us, we come out, we'll give you a full photo report, but we'll also do a life report on the shingles too. And we'll take care of any general maintenance, so like caulking, any nail holes, things like that.
Sure.
That's all free. That's that's kind of why it's a why not situation.
Yeah.
You get all the information that you could possibly want for your roof.
And most people have no clue about that. Most homeowners, when I talk to them, that they can get a free inspection on their roof. It's so wise to do. And if you just bought a house, you're in it 2 years, you think I'm not going to move for 8. I mean, average time in a house is 10 years. So if you're 3, 4, 5 years into your house, get the roof inspected. You don't want to miss that period where the insurance is going to cover it if there was a storm. And always, especially after a storm, is a good time to just get it checked. So you don't miss that window.
And so what we look for when we're up on a roof to recommend a claim is we look for essentially 8 to 10 hail hits in a 10 by 10 square. So a roofing square is a 10 by 10 foot section.
Okay.
And so we look for that to recommend a claim.
Sure.
And that's genuinely a lot of people think, oh, well, I'll call my insurance, have my insurance out first, and then I'll find a roofer once I get it taken care of. But what they don't know at the end of the day is that we're there to help you through the insurance process. So we meet insurance out there and we talk it through on site because, I mean, as you know,
At
being
the
in
end of-
real estate.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're in there to make money, and if they're paying the claims, they're not making money. So they're not really on your side when they come out and look at your roof.
And that's what most people don't realize. Yeah. And they also don't realize that if their claim is rejected, they don't realize they can call a roofing company and get a second opinion.
Correct.
And get the adjuster back out there with the roofing company, and he needs to explain why he doesn't think it's covered when you're sitting there going, hey, here's a 10-foot by 10-foot square that we always look at, and you have 42 dinks.
Yep.
Well,
it's not rocket science.
One story I shared a few weeks ago is we had somebody come out to take a look at my house. Now, I have a 2-story house and an uber steep roof, and this gal came out, and she couldn't have been, she had to be in college. She literally borrowed my ladder. I had to put it up on the house
that
for
you just
her.
have to love.
Yeah,
right.
And she was trembling going up this ladder, and I thought, why in the world is this girl doing this? Got her nose level with the gutter and was looking around, and she goes, I definitely see hail damage. And I thought, are you kidding me? And I thought, yeah, I see it too. Come on down. And she came down and replaced my roof. I don't know if there was hail damage up there or not, but I agreed with her findings. But I thought, why is the insurance company sending this person out to assess my roof? I mean, I kind of need, I would think if it was my company, I want somebody up there walking around going yay or nay.
So a little public service announcement on that. That is not the normal. So
I suspect she didn't keep her job very long.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Now, one thing because Steve and I were just up on, I have 2 buildings that are adjoining, and this one building, the guy that owned this building, it's like he added on to it every other year, and whatever roofing at the time was on sale is what kind of roof went on it. I think I have 5 different roofing products on it.
Yes, you do.
And so we were walking around, and one of the roofing products on there, I hope I'm not. I love it, and I'm hoping it's going to last a long time. But it's actually a rubber product.
Yes,
and it seems to be pretty dang solid.
It is. Rubber roofs are a great roof. They can last quite a while. I've seen 50-year-old rubber roofs. If you maintain them, you can get 20, 30. You can actually get a 30-year warranty on a rubber roof. Have leak 29 years from now, they'll fix it for you. So. Yeah, I strongly encourage rubber roofs a lot. TPO is another good product. It's a rubber plastic mix that is great for flat roofs. If you have a low-sloped roof, you don't want shingles. The snow sits there, it melts, it refreezes at night, and it pushes back up underneath the shingles and gets into the nail holes and that. With rubber, you got solid sheets that nothing's going to penetrate naturally, other than getting tree branches or something like that will poke a hole in it, and then you can get
So there's no dumb question. Sometimes I have to preface
I'll
what I'm
let
going to
you know
ask.
in a minute. I'll let you know in a minute.
Do you nail those on? And then if so, you seal them? Yeah, because
they're glued down.
You glue them down.
Yes.
Okay, so removal, well, who cares? In 50 years, you're probably going to have the house sold. But
you can go over them as well.
Oh, great.
And
yeah,
we go over
sure.
metal roofs with rubber, called a flue fill, where you go in between the standing seams with insulation, and then you put another layer of insulation. We screw that insulation down with a 3-inch plate and screws, and then everything's glued down. And then
to that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it heavier than a regular shingle? Is there?
No, actually, the rubber is lighter.
Is lighter in the long run with the glue and everything. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. And like I say, you can get up to a 30-year warranty on that.
Yeah. Nice.
Completely.
And they're patchable because we had to put a patch in one because a tree fell on part of it.
Yep.
And then part of it, not the rubber part, but the rolled roofing part blew off of it. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, obviously. But yeah, is it only commercial for the rubber roofing? Can it go on?
No, you can go on houses with that as well. A lot of times with your sunrooms and things like that, they have a more flat roof because they come out of a porch and things like that. And they do put metal roofs on them, but a lot of times you see those fail, or they'll put terrible to put shingles on them because, like I said, if it's not over a 412 or greater pitch, 4 inches rise to 12 inches. Anyway, if it doesn't have a good enough pitch, the water and snow and stuff's going to sit there and freeze and get underneath the shingles. And ice can heave concrete. Yeah.
But you're not going to put a rubber roof on a normal pitched.
No.
Okay.
No.
That'd probably look weird too.
It would.
Very
the
good.
weird house.
All right. Well, we got another break coming up. You are listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we will be back right after this.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, and you're back on the 402 Business Insider, talking with Steve and Ben with Red Rhino Roofing. So let's talk a little ventilation. This will make you laugh, Ben, because Steve and I were up on one of my buildings, and we were talking about there's a turbine up there. And I said, I hate these dang things. I said, because my wife's grandmother had two turbines up on top of her house. I said, I hate these things because every fall I had to go up there and I had to wrap these things, and every spring I had to go up there and unwrap these things. And he goes, why in the heck were you doing that? I go, because she told me I had to come over there and wrap them and unwrap them. And he goes, yeah, you don't have to do that. I did that for like 20 years. And I go, you're kidding me. I went over there twice a year wrapping them and unwrapping. I didn't have to do it at all. So,
You just wanted to see her, right?
yeah, I guess. Or she wanted to see me.
like that.
Yeah, but let's talk about the importance of that, and having proper ventilation in your roof.
Oh, it's very important. Your roof, your attic should be the same temperature as the outside air. It should recirculate.
That never happens.
Every 15 minutes, 4 times an hour, it should recirculate. So if it's 100 degrees outside, you want it 100 degrees in your attic. A lot of times when it's 100 degrees outside, you get an attic, it's 120, 150.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever,
There's no way the ridge cuts can handle that.
No,
Is there?
no. Ridge vents, they do have a purpose. A lot of times they are adequate for a ranch-style house that has a really long ridge. And
that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
But a lot of times, especially with new home builds, you got 4 or 5 houses going up next to yours, the dust and debris, it gets clogged on your intakes as well as your exhaust. We recommend turbines because they don't have any way to get clogged. They're always spinning. When they start spinning, they create their own vacuum effect. So they start pulling. Ventilation is really important. You can get, in the wintertime, get your attic will get frost inside of it. A lot of times bathroom exhaust fans are vented into the attic and not out of the roof.
See it all the time.
And that warm, moist air with that freezing cold air. And ventilation problems will show up looking like leaks. A lot of times it's brown spots because it absorbs the wood. It gets absorbed into the wood, and that's what makes that color in it. A lot of times it comes in a line. It'll get to the rafters and then start dripping off the rafters.
Sure.
So you'll see it like in the middle of the room, in a line, 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah.
And
so my people looking on the house are sure it's just going to break in half. And I mean, it just goes. Yeah. You're like, wait.
Yeah, and you can get mold, mildew build up. I've seen terrible decking, where I'm surprised a nail even holds in it. You'll have rusted nails. So ventilation is really important.
So if you went and inspected a house, right, you do the free inspection and they have the ridge vent, it's probably not adequate. And you can go in the attic and go, it's 180 in this attic and it's, 96 outside. Do you guys install the other type of vents? Is that something that you do?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think that's important for people to do.
Especially
now with roofs becoming so important for your insurance or even the insurability of your home. We're seeing that too in some of the, investment properties, 200,000, 225 type properties that a first-time home buyer wants to get into. And there's so much jackety stuff going on with the roof. It's just crazy.
Correct. And it's always hot upstairs. You don't like that. And, you're going to save money by not having to replace your shingle as soon because you're basically baking it from the bottom and the top, when you don't have proper ventilation.
Well, and your heating and cooling bills. I mean, if it's 90 degrees outside and it's 140 degrees in your attic.
Yep.
It's 140 degrees, man. You're trying to cool off your upstairs, and it's basically 140 degrees outside.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you really need to kind of maybe pop open and see what the temperature is up in your attic once in a while.
Yeah.
And call a professional company and see if there's a problem. Now, I think of one of the houses that I bought up in Elmwood when we were going through and ripping it open. I had ridge vents, and I had no eave vents.
Yeah.
And you don't think anything of it, and then you go,
have to have air to come
wait
in.
a minute,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I go, where's the air coming in at?
This doesn't add up.
That means it's sucking in from the air-conditioned or the heated air is coming in
from your home.
From the home.
Yeah. And if you walk around and look up at your soffits and look at those vents, or a lot of times you can see the dust and dirt clogged up in it, whether it be, a vented soffit or a C816, which is a soffit vent, like a square vent. They always have a screen on them. You'll see they're dirty. It's important to have that air ventilating through. And then there's attic baffles that go between the soffit and the attic to allow that air to get through there. That's important as well. And we do all that. Anybody who does ventilation should do attic baffles, intake, and exhaust. You can't just...
Maintenance.
Yes. And that's something I would think. Now,
and another big thing is not mixing ventilation, not putting a turbine in with a box vent, because it's just going to pull from the closest, easiest place. So now that's not an exhaust vent anymore. The turbine is pulling from that 750 or turtle vent, and so you're just exhausting that first.
Yeah, you're just cooling the top foot.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to the rest of it.
Yep.
Now, is it something too? If you see dirty soffits, do you want to take a hose to it? Right, because now are you introducing moist air?
Take a vacuum or just replace them.
Okay.
Or you can cut in new. If you have a soffit that's a vented soffit panel, you can actually cut in and put a new, like a C816 soffit vent.
Okay. Very good. Good information. All right, we have another break coming up here, so let's run to that real quick. We will be right back. We're talking with Steve and Ben with Red Rhino Roofing on the 402 Business Insider.
Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, and you're back on the 402 Business Insider, talking with Steve and Ben at Red Rhino Roofing. All right, so I have a question, because every once in a while I fall victim, hopefully not fall victim, but fall victim to one of those stupid videos, and I bought that little, it's like a tinfoil bubble wrap looking thing that I stapled up to the rafters, and it was like 4 feet high, that kind of helps the ventilation go from the soffit up to the roof rafters. Did I bite the hook?
That's what you
did
need.
I do good?
Yes,
I did.
Good
that's
job,
called an attic
Travis.
baffle, and that gets the air from the soffit into the attic.
Because I blew in insulation, and my fear was that it
you were clogging up the
yes.
intake. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and blowing in insulation is great for your attic. It's beefing up the insulation is always good.
Yeah, that was my big fear, because I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm blowing in insulation. I mean, and sometimes it gets it's almost powdery, and I thought, man, if I blow this in, am I going to clog up those soffits?
Right.
That's why you have those baffles.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And then, like I said, making sure that your intake is clean and working efficiently. Maintenance is key about everything about your roof. A lot of things that we'll look for on a free roof inspection will involve maintenance. Cracks in your penetrations, your flashings, your boots, pipe boots, things like that. Wind damage. You don't really see wind damage. You got to pull on the shingle, see if it's actually popped. Unless you're out there looking at your roof in the middle of a storm, you don't see your shingles getting blown up because they lay back down. And sometimes they seal, sometimes they don't. They won't seal like they were originally. So that's why they replace roofs for wind damage. And then we have apps as well that will tell us how much wind was in your area, on your street, on what day, so we can document that kind of information and take that to the insurance company to work with them to get your roof replaced.
So, Ben and Steve, I'm thinking as I talk to a lot of roofers, just because of my job, one thing I think that you differentiate, you just kind of brought it up from other roofers, is that when you go out and you're doing the inspection, you're not just saying, yeah, you have no hail damage, you're fine. You're also educating them on proper maintenance of your roof, the ventilation in your attic, things that most homeowners don't really even think about, right? Because you walk in the house, you see everything else. There's a crack, something's wrong with the floor, dishwasher's not working. You're not up on your attic and in your attic and on your roof that often. I mean, hopefully that you don't just hang out there, but so that's a big plus that you do.
Exactly, and gutters are important as well.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll get problems in your basement with water, and that's from your gutters a lot of times too. Gutters will back up and not get away from the house, or you don't have an extension on your gutter. A lot of times in the gutter itself, if you get it backed up, it'll leak into the house or leak into the soffit. You get a lot of rotted out fascia, things like that. So gutter guards are important. Sometimes we'll recommend them if you have a lot of leaves and things.
And water's the biggest enemy of your home.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Period. Big time.
So,
Big time.
You can start with the roof and go down.
But your roof covers everything in your house. So it's more important than people like to realize and think about.
Yes, it is. All right, we got one last break. Let's go to it real quick, and we'll come back. Got a couple more questions for you. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider on 1400 KLIN.
Where Nebraska business owners tell their story. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, last segment with the 402 Business Insider, talking with Steve and Ben with Red Rhino Roofing. Last 3 minutes here, guys. Just tell us how people can get in touch with you. What's the website, Ben?
RedRhinoRoofs.com.
Okay.
Yep.
And if people are seeing, if they're seeing some granules in the downspouts, can they call or just go online?
Yep, you can call, go online. You can even DM us on social media.
Okay.
There's plenty of ways to get in touch, but also if you're a homeowner and you have questions about your roof, go to our social media, because there's a lot of information that we've posted on there just to kind of help get the process started, get you thinking about it, and give you a basic understanding of what's really going on with your roof. So.
Fantastic. And now, do you guys do gutters as well, right?
Gutters, siding, windows, paint, pretty much everything exterior. We don't do much concrete, but other than that, we've really got you covered.
Yeah, concrete's a pain. Yeah. That's a nightmare.
Yep.
And maintenance is key, to anything. Just like a brand new car, 3,000 miles down the road, you got to get the oil changed.
Yeah.
Right. The maintenance. And like I was saying, homeowners I deal with, it's the last thing they really think about is their roof, honestly, because they're looking at what they can see. They walk in the house, they see the walls, they see the floor, they're working with all the mechanicals, dishwasher that breaks or whatever.
Yep.
Really do not think about their roof until there's a storm.
Or a leak.
Or a leak. Also, real quick question on warranties. So I get a shingle. It's class 4. It's a 35-year warranty. Is there anything I need to do to keep that warranty in place? Like have you check it out every 5 years, 4 years, 3 years? How does that kind of work? And also, are those warranties transferable normally?
Normally, yes, they are transferable. But there's not a reason to send any information or get it inspected for warranty purposes. But the reason to get it inspected once a year, once every other year is simply there's nails exposed on the roof that have caulking on top of them, that the caulking goes bad. And you need to have it resealed, just general maintenance, or even the intake vents, And
that's going to especially happen in Nebraska, where we can go from minus 29 as the temperature to 110. So and every year, they could call every year and get a free inspection.
Yeah, it only makes sense to have
do that.
Yeah,
people listening, do that.
It only makes sense, and have a professional do it, because, honestly, most people don't know what to look for or what they're looking at. They don't see what they're, they don't see what they're actually looking at, where the damage is. And, I'm not trying to fix my own car. I'm not a mechanic.
Me either.
Right.
Well, and it is something, because I literally have Steve up on every single property I own every year, because by the time that you see something, by the time you see a spot in the ceiling, it could have been leaking for 5 years,
Exactly.
literally. And it could have been 20 feet from that point.
Yep.
Right.
So... And the damage could be thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yep.
So,
Right, and at that time, mitigating the problem is huge.
Exactly.
Whereas
The more you wait, the more it costs.
Yep. So, redrhinoroofs.com. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for
really
having us.
appreciate it. And you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, 402insider.com. We will see you guys next week.